know where I know where they are. But what I'll do is I'm always making a mental note when I'm practicing, because things always seem to change. And sometimes, like in our deal, we get to practice for 3 days, and maybe you find them the first day. And but I'll always be thinking, like, all right, I got them to come up on a popper. What's another way? Maybe I can swim a bluegill colored swim jig around that stuff and generate some bites. I can flip it with a big weight. I'm always thinking about as many ways possible that I could catch the same fish. And the only reason I do that is because I know from experience how the weather changes. Today or this morning it was cloudy and slick, and by the time the tournament rolls around, it'll all be completely bluebird. So I just always try to think about that in my mind. Like, how would I fish for these fish if the weather, when the weather changes? And so many times for me, the way I found them in practice is not the way I caught them during the tournament. That happens more times than not, that you don't catch them the way you. And so I always say, basically what I use practice for is just to get me in the right area, and then I'll try to dial the deal in during the tournament. I think so many guys, win practice and they get dialed in on that, and the tournament comes, they're like, I don't know what happened to them. But I'm always trying to think outside the box, and like, right now maybe I have optimal conditions, and during the tournament I always prepare for the worst. And typically, I'll use whatever. I don't mind catching them on a spinning rod. I have nothing against that, and I use one a lot. But I typically, if possible, and it goes for all anglers out there, if I can get them to bite power fishing. I mean, everybody's like, I'm considered a power fisherman, but the deal is, it's efficiency. Whatever will make me the most efficient, from getting a bite to being able to get the fish into the boat and into the live well. That's all. That's what the deal is about. It's not that. I mean, honestly, it's more fun to catch one on a spinning rod than it is to catch one on a flipping stick. But it's a lot more efficient, for me to blow that fish out of there and put him in the boat than to fight him for a 2-pounder for 5 minutes on 6-pound test line. Now, when I have to do that, it is what it is. I do it, but I'm always looking for a way that I can catch them. If I can catch one cranking on 20-pound test instead of 12, chances are, unless he's great big, I'm gonna be able to swing most of them. I just, I'm big on trying to just be efficient,